I'm back. Hi, baby. Hey, how are you?
You know, it's really kind of brilliant.
What?
Because the honest truth is
Yeah.
that Occupy Chapel Hill
Yeah.
has been allowed with no disruption from the town government to stay in this plaza.
Right.
And because we're what? We're a political protest group.
Right.
So really,
So what happens, right?
William is about to make it clear that we were allowed to stay here because we're a political
So why
protest
can't he?
group. And yeah, why can't he?
Yeah.
So it should be interesting to see how the town government responds to this, because William's been here for 3 months.
Right. And it'll also bring to light the fact that there are a lot of people that don't have places to go.
Right.
And that's a huge issue.
And are really actually perfectly capable of taking care of themselves with a tent on public property as well.
Yeah.
You know?
This will be very interesting. I'd love to see. It's so funny, though. I love how he decorated. William is really, for some reason, it's like, well, why didn't you do that before? It's so great.
Well, actually, William's made a considerable amount of art up here. I mean,
I know. I've seen the art, on the, the chalk and stuff, which is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I love the signs that he makes, but the fact that he actually got a fence and did a little beach area, I mean, it's, it's so cute.
There wasn't room for that before with all the other tents here. But I think this really underscores what we've been saying about the problem of homelessness as well. How we've all become so much more aware from being out here
the problem
of what it means to be homeless. I know for me, as someone who travels a lot and camps a lot and sometimes sleeps in public parks, figuring out how hard it actually is to live on a street.
Yeah.
It's the issue of where I'm going to pee, and the fact that I can get arrested for that here when I can't get arrested for that in the woods.
Yeah.
That's a pretty profound realization right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
this will be interesting.
I
will love. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just, I'm worried about him because I don't want him to get in trouble, but he's making a great statement.
Well, I spend a lot of time talking to him on night watch between 6 in the morning and 9 in the morning, and he is an incredibly intelligent person.
Yes.
And I actually think he knows exactly what he's doing.
Good. Good. I'm glad. I hope he does. I really do. I hope he does. And I hope it helps the town realize that they sort of need to step up when it comes to people that are on the streets.
Yeah. Well, and, just think, he could be sleeping in a nice, big, abandoned car dealership somewhere.
He is too funny. This is too funny.
So it went over like a pow, man. Everybody was just pissed off. Because I had written speeches with Jerry Brown, and then I worked for Ralph Nader in 96 and 2000. So I was in the thick of presidential campaign. On top of the internal patent policy. They need a really good writer. So, they offered me off of that one speech, the top school in town, Chonam de Hakeo, not Chode, but someday, offered me the gig as a business professor. Very well versed after 4 years in evergreen culture and language.
So what?
Hi, Katya. How are you feeling, hon?
Shit. The only reason I don't have a fever is because I took ibuprofen.
Oh, sweetie. 4:30.
We need to get this stuff out because I think I want it to be right here. But I'm here because Heather's too sick to be here.
Poor Heather. Oh, my God. She just needs to get well. I'm worried. Heather, I hope you're watching like I told you to.
No, I hope you're sleeping.
Oh, Katya wants you to be sleeping, and I want you to be watching my Ustream. Are you thirsty? Want to go get something to drink? Let's go get something to drink. We're going to get something to drink. We're bringing one viewer.
Oh, boy.
Hi, one viewer. Say hi to the viewer.
Hello, viewer.
We're going to go get something to drink. Oh, I asked Texas if you gave him his thing, and you forgot. So if he gives it back to me, he's going to come back this way and get it sometime.
Is it actually? No, it's in mine. Maybe it is in this place.
We're gonna have to have a big talk about what happened.
My cup is from place down there.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, I'm gonna get something from here. Let's see. What should we get, viewer? Do you have any preference of what you like to drink?
Well, I won't be that big.
I think I'm going to get what I got last time, which is this yummy mango thing. This was really good. Have you ever had one of these Snapple mangoes in a can? It's so good. Hello.
How are you, Mace?
I'm good. How are you?
That's it?
That's it for today. How much do I owe you? Huh?
You're hurting us, baby.
Oh, thanks.
What's the nature or your beauty?
It's natural. Yeah, the color's not natural, but the curl is. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. Hey, Rob. Yes, say hi to my one viewer.
Hi, viewer.
Where'd your drink go?
The B-skis.
The what?
B-skis?
How far is that?
Not far.
Oh. Oh, Rob made me lose a viewer.
Aw, Rob.
That's really sad.
Okay, he's Rob. What's his last name?
Hafe.
Hafe, yeah. Just because I know, I know names from emails and I know names from faces, but rarely do I connect.
So was that week, you being with them, like the best week of your life? Yeah. I pretty much figured.
Yeah. It was just, it was hard.
Yeah.
Walking 20 miles isn't easy.
Right.
But it was well worth it, and the experience, like walking into a town and talking to the people.
Yeah, spreading the message. Yeah.
Being with Paul.
And how, well, maybe I won't ask you. Never
Yeah.
mind. Oh, we have 2 viewers.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Blowing up in the world.
All right. Hi, 2 viewers. Welcome. We're just getting something to drink really fast before the press conference. And we are in B-skis, the tortilla wrap grill.
Look how fun this machine is, Stuart.
Let's see this machine.
Okay,
Ooh, fancy.
I'm going to do what I did last year. Lemonade. I'm going.
What, do you put money in it or something?
No, you just decide to cut from here.
Oh my god. That is so cool. High tech.
A little bit of that. And top it off.
Are you making like a tornado or something?
Doing something.
Something that's gross. 3 viewers. 3 viewers are watching you get your drink. This is very exciting. This is exactly what they came to watch.
A little lime on top. How does that sound?
This is why they came to my Ustream, to watch you get a drink.
Oh, I know it.
They're very excited.
Who cares about the press conference?
Yeah, we don't... Yes, I can read you, Richard. Did you have a question? Was that exciting for you to watch her get a drink? Okay, back to the press conference. It should start in about 3 minutes, or maybe when the plaza is all clean. It's almost all cleaned up. But we do have some drama going on already. We have someone who is refusing to take their tent down and has decorated it and has basically branched off from Occupy Chapel Hill and is now calling himself Occupy William. And he's planning on staying at the plaza no matter what anyone says. So this will be interesting to see how that pans out.
And here he comes rolling down the street.
And here he comes. It's the guy with all the bandanas hanging from his pants. He's decorated himself as well. Quite a mood. Oh yeah, he's excited. This is an exciting day for him because he's going to be all by himself.
Right.
He gets his home all to himself.
So here we are, back at the occupation.
Back at the occupation. The tentless, or the one tent occupation. Check, check, check.
Thing on.
Mic check! Mic check!
Real mic check.
Real mic check. Here, this is the tent that he plans on keeping. He's got his own little fence now. Did you get my text? Yeah, I was Ustreaming, so I couldn't pick up. I couldn't respond.
Yeah.
Is it one of the home? Yes, it is one of the people that is without a home that is staying in this tent.
You know what their next,
All right, we'll begin in a few minutes. We just want to give people a few more seconds to finish their sweeping.
Us? No. We
Those of
left
you who don't know me, my name is Kathy
on our own accord.
and I'll be doing
No, we're looking for an indoor space
a few minutes to
for
get
an information center.
That makes sense. Where are you guys going to move to?
We don't know yet. We're still looking. So if you know any businesses that have a room for rent or
Keep an eye out for it. Well, this buzz is forever going to be trying to
oh yeah, Caitlin, I'm Rebecca Bogart.
Oh,
Yeah,
hi.
I just wanted to introduce myself because we spoke on the phone.
Yeah.
Good article.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I was a little worried. I'm like, because you're the first press person that I've talked to, and I thought, Caitlin, I think she's like, she'll be okay.
Well, good. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. Look at that, it's getting cleaned up. And then they're going to power wash it tomorrow. After the press conference, we're going to have open mic where anyone can go up and speak. And then we're going to have our GA. And after GA, we're going to have a potluck. And then with our party. So if you don't make the press conference, you can make the party later on tonight. Got some good sweepers here. Yeah.
All right, mic check.
Mic check!
We're ready
We're ready
for the press conference
for the press conference
to begin.
to begin.
If any members of the media need spellings on the names of the speakers, you can see me while the speakers are talking, and I'll get you spellings on their names. All right, so as I said before, my name is Katya Roitbord, and I'm actually going to be doing the introduction on behalf of Heather, who is supposed to be here but is home sick, more ill than I am. So we drew straws, and who was less sick came. So pardon my voice, I'm also ill. So I would like to welcome everyone here to Occupy Chapel of Carborough's celebration of Occupy 2.0, the next phase of our existence. I recognize many of you from our first day, either on October 9th or October 15th, so I want to thank you for coming out again as we move into a new stage. Thank you to the press for attending. Thank you to guests who've come to celebrate with us. We're happy to see all of you here. And a special welcome to all the occupiers who have come out to join us and who have been with us since the beginning and will continue to be here as we continue to occupy Chapel Hill for the foreseeable future. If you're able to stay and celebrate with us, we'll have an open mic at around 5. We'll have a potluck around 5:30 or 6, and a general assembly like we do every Tuesday and Thursday at 6, and Sundays at 3:30. We'll also have a dance party with DJing by Beat Report starting around 8. So I'd like to tell you a little bit of a history of Occupy Chapel Hill, Scarborough, and how we started and what we've done. And I'll pass the mic to Harry Phillips, who will introduce each of our speakers who are all members of Occupy Chapel Hill and who will speak briefly about kind of their ideas of next steps. So inspired by the planetary wave of resistance to world organized to benefit the 1%, inspired by the global anti-austerity movements and the Arab Spring and the Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Chapel Hill Scarborough began our encampment at Peace and Justice Plaza here on October 15th. And that was the same day, it was a national day of resistance and solidarity that Occupies went up around the country. So it was the first time that many of us have participated. Sorry, buses make me want to stop talking. It was the first time many of us have participated in something called a General Assembly based on horizontal organization. There are no leaders in the Occupy movement in the sense that there's no official top to bottom political positions. We were all equivalent participants. Several volunteers facilitated group discussions during which proposals are made by anybody about anything, and our group works towards consensus on the resulting decisions. The format requires rethinking what it means to be a democracy, to have your voice given space and to give other voices space, and to think in terms of collective force and need. So it's important that people understand that consensus, and we've been operating in Chapel Hill on a 100% consensus model, which means that one block can stop all discussion, and it means we need to address that block before we can proceed. So what that means is that majority does not rule in the consensus model, nor does it rule at Occupy Chapel Hill. We value everyone's voices, and that's something that makes us distinct. We might move to a slight modified consensus model as other Occupies have done, but thus far we've been at 100% consensus. We've discovered how different we are. We are IT specialists. We are receptionists, union members, small business owners, musicians, accountants, military veterans, unemployed, employed, professors, LGBT, every type of race and socioeconomic background. From this space, some of us have lived, all of us have worked. At Occupy Chapel Hill, Scarborough, we've done quite a bit for our 3-month history. So our community outreach and self-education have included global and local issues related to economic justice and its corollaries, the prison industrial complex, environmental destruction, climate change, race, gender, sexuality, race oppression, and immigration issues. We've had teach-ins on resistance, on the economy, hydrofracking, meditation and yoga, Native American perspectives, veganism, animal rights, Duke Energy's corporate plays, and much more. We've had visitors from Occupies around the country. We've also had Dr. Steve Auerbach come to talk about healthcare, and Sergeant Shamar Thomas, the U.S. Marine now famous for shouting down 30 police to protect U.S. citizens. In direct action, we've marched in solidarity with other Occupies against police brutality and government obfuscation in Chapel Hill more broadly. Those of you who were around yesterday, we had a march and we participated in the town council meeting in support of the citizens of Northside and Pine Knolls, as well as the request for an independent review of the police actions at the Yates building. We've been involved with a march in support of the residents of Abbey Court against the corporate ownership of the apartment complex that wanted to shut down the Human Rights Center and evict them, and they successfully evicted them, but our support was really helpful, and they've since found a new home. We've held bank transfer days to move money out of corporate banks to credit unions, packed public hearings against Duke rate hikes, and protested in Raleigh and Durham about treatment of prisoners and against hydrofracking. And we've had fun. We've put Occupy George bills into circulation, held a Justice Jam, danced to Beat report at Nightlight, occupied the Art Walk in Scarborough, handed out Occupy at the Holiday Parade, and had a zombie shoppers walk at South Point. We've also hung out with Walkupy, who is currently in Charlotte awaiting 2 of their members released from jail for standing on a sidewalk in front of Bank of America building. And some of us stood with them in Raleigh after they were arrested for walking in the street. So we've been part of the regional and nationwide Occupy movement, and we plan to continue. We support people over profits, Main Street over Wall Street, reject foreclosure on our futures and the possibility of a world prioritizing sustainability and community. We will continue to resist anything other than this possibility. We invite you to celebrate here tonight with us. For all we've done in such a short time, in just 3 months, we've become a movement of people who will work together for a long time to come. Thank you. So I'm now going to give you Harry Phillips, who's going to introduce our speakers.
Thanks, Katja. Hi, everybody. I'm Harry, and welcome to Occupy Chapel Hill Carborough. We have been hard at it since sunny Saturday, October 15th. We meet, as Katja said, 3 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday at 6, Sunday at 3:30. And I have the great honor and privilege now of introducing 4 speakers, 4 occupiers among many who have stepped up and done the hard work to begin and continue our movement. It's all about people stepping up and occupying our community, our institutions, to level the playing field. We live in a time now where economic injustice is rampant, where everyday folks suffer when they do not have to. There are plenty of resources in our country, in our state, in our community. There's plenty of money in our community. It's not being distributed evenly, and people are suffering when they do not have to, in terms of education, in terms of health care, in terms of our lending institutions. So, you heard a minute ago Katja deliver a wonderful opening, but you also heard someone with a hoarse voice. That's because she's here when she shouldn't be, because she's overworked, because she's overcommitted to Occupy Chapel Hill Carborough. And that's the kind of drive and dedication that many occupiers have here. So I will introduce very briefly 4 people separately. And first, Amanda Ashley, who's been an occupier since the beginning. Amanda, a former candidate for mayor for the town of Carborough, has spent many nights here occupying, is always a steady, level voice in times of crisis and decision-making. Amanda is the individual who kept our food and sanitation working group going when the times got very tough. So Amanda is somebody that we lean on, that we all lean on for good counsel and advice and a steady hand during tough times. So a great pleasure to introduce Amanda Ashley.
Thank you, Harry, for those kind words. And thank everyone for coming out to our celebration of evolution. We are, sadly, collapsing our encampment, but that does not mean we are going away. Occupy still occupies the Peace and Justice Plaza. We will continue to have our GAs, teach-ins here. So it's with sadness that we don't have the encampment for the future, but we have many, many other things on tap. And I hope you stay in tune with us for the future. I've been tasked to give a few words, and usually I don't write things down. I'm very off the cuff and extemporaneous with my speaking, but for a little bit I'll try to put my words from pen. Seldom does it occur, and it's an historic moment such as now, such as the Occupy movement. It is a time when it feels possible that we can change our world and our system for the better, to place the well-being of people at the forefront of our considerations and actions, rather than placing our needs and our dreams as distant second to profits and to property. In this winter of our hidden growth, we with Occupy are determined to be the revolution we know we can create. How shall we do this? By making 1,000 practical steps to inform all citizens of the tools they already have to maintain their rights in the face of corporate greed. One of these actions will be upcoming very shortly with our Foreclosure Prevention Forum, which will happen on the 21st of this month, just across the street. So this will be a tool for people who are facing foreclosure to be able to hold on to their homes. Practical steps. They say, what does Occupy want? We want one thing, to change the world for the better. But within that one thing are 1,000, 1,000,000 points of effort, which we will endeavor to create and to do. We want to begin the hundreds of conversations which lead to understanding how we may free ourselves from the political charlatans and the parties of deception, which are bought and paid for by the corporate interests and which create intentional injustices. The ongoing efforts to understand why the prison industrial system is growing in the United States is one of the things we will be paying very great attention to. How else will we do this? To make certain that the dozens of laws which disenfranchise the people or place corporate theft and greed as the illogical center of our economic life, these laws will be targeted for change or elimination. One of these will be redressing the Citizens United. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Occupy the Courts will be coming up. January 20th, we will have an action in Raleigh. Join us, please. And how else will we do this? By ensuring that each voice that is within the chorus of the 99% has action, has tangible efforts through what Occupy does. To remind folks that wealth is a fantasy, especially for us who have to work constantly. Occupy will be here, past the camp, past the tents, into a future. It may take a while, but we will be here. Occupy everything.
Woo!
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks. Our next occupier, our next speaker, Stephanie Doherty. Any modern definition of the word deliberate, patient, needs to include Stephanie Doherty in that definition. Stephanie's been an overnighter nearly every night since October 15th. She's served vigorously, courageously on a couple of our working groups. Facilitation involves facilitating our general assemblies. We are, as Kachi mentioned, organized along a horizontal, non-hierarchical structure, and it's about open democracy. It's about being transparent wonderful in concept, extremely difficult to facilitate, but a lot of fun. Stephanie is heroic for her willingness to stay overnight and confront a lot of the folks who come out when the bar is empty between 12 and 3 a.m. And it's Stephanie who everybody leaned on to maintain a sense of order and respect here. So, Stephanie Doherty.
Thank you very much, Harry. I had some prepared remarks, but Amanda hit almost all of them already, so I'll be very brief here. We've had tremendous support from the community here, and it has been great. And it has been, the response has been overwhelmingly positive, but we've still had our hecklers. And they have claimed that we're not going to accomplish anything, that we haven't accomplished anything. Well, if you listen to Katya, we've already proved them wrong. And I hear them saying that we're giving up. That couldn't be farther from the truth. We are going to prove them wrong. We've already set the stage to prove them wrong again. And we're going to keep coming back strong, keep fighting for a just world, for a world that we want to live in. Thank you.
Ron Mays, also an overnighter since October 15th, and we should clap for Ron because it was Ron who appeared when hecklers came by. Not everybody was sensitive and respectful of what was going on here, especially between 12 and 3 a.m. And somehow, Ron, while he's not 6'2", 250, his presence had a calming influence on everyone. If you want to get into a good conversation about political philosophy, Ron is the guy. When he speaks, and he doesn't speak very often at our General Assemblies, it's always in calm, deliberate tones. It's always very thoughtful, and we listen. His is one of many voices that allows us to move forward. Ron Mays.
During the periods that I've been at Occupy, I've talked to hundreds of people, and I've been asked thousands of questions. The one question I've always been asked is, why are you here? The people. When I first came by, I came to sneer at Occupy, and then I talked to the people. Their politics were not my politics. Their lifestyles were not my lifestyles. But as I talk more and more to people like lovely Diane over there, our Viking goddess, the more and more intrigued I became, and the more I was impressed by the mutual respect we all had for each other. So I want to thank the people, the friends that I've met here, the friends that I will continue to have here. I have one other very quick thing to say, which is that a secondary reason I'm here is that there is, in my opinion, a disaffection and alienation across this country, whether on the left, whether on the right, whether it's the Tea Party or whether it's Occupy. Our leaders are not responsive. Our institutions, our businesses are not responsive. Democrats have a president they don't like. The Republicans have an apparent nominee that they openly despise. We intend to make them responsive. We intend to see that they do their jobs. Again, thank you. Thank you for the friendship.
Thanks, Ron. Final speaker, Maria Rowan, a person of indomitable spirit. When we need a dose of good cheer, it's always Maria who steps up. Maria has served on at least 3 of our working groups: facilitation, direct action, and food and sanitation. Maria is currently involved in planning what will be another arm of our occupation, nomadic occupation. So you likely will see occupied tents around Chapel Hill, Scarborough in different, perhaps unusual places. Maria is one of the founding members here. She's one of our core people, and she's one of those folks that's really the bedrock of Occupied Chapel Hill. So, Maria.
My 10-year-old daughter has a children's book on the Iroquois Confederacy, and in it, the principle of unity is shown as a bundle of arrows that cannot be broken when one arrow can be easily broken. When I visited Occupy Wall Street and Zuccotti Park at the beginning of October, I saw a bundle of arrows, an innovative and invigorated movement of people of all races, classes, and political ideologies. I returned home to find Occupy Chapel Hill underway with similar diversity. I've lived here for more than 20 years, and it was exciting to meet new people as we left our homes, offices, and comfort zones to join together in general assemblies and in actions here at Peace and Justice Plaza. I've made many amazing connections through this encampment, but just as one person is one arrow, this encampment was just one arrow. Occupy Chapel Hill, Scarborough is not only too big to fail, it's too big for this postage stamp of concrete allotted for public discourse in front of the town post office. We have already taken Occupy across the street, down the street, and into the middle of the streets, and I am happy to announce that we're continuing to do that. Occupy 2.0 is Nomadic Occupy, a roving encampment that will reach further into our community. We will build more alliances, stronger alliances, and make new connections as we challenge injustice together. Woo! Occupy, mic check. Mic check! Occupy is not going away. Occupy is not going away. Occupy is going everywhere. Occupy is going everywhere. Woo! Everything. Occupy everything. Occupy everything. Occupy everything. Whose streets? Our streets.
Many thanks to our four speakers. We are everyday people who decided to step up. For those of you who are not occupiers, who are not participating, we get stronger. The Occupy movement gets stronger when you join us. Occupy is about everyday people, okay? We're not hierarchical. We're not vertical in structure. Your 2 cents matters, okay? Step up. Join us. We need you.
So we could just end on Maria's, and I'm okay with that, but I did want to open it up to any questions, since this is a press conference and usually people do questions and answers. We've agreed as a group that if there are questions, we're just going to allow occupiers, encourage occupiers to just come up. So if somebody from the media has a question, and then somebody who I'll do stack if somebody wants to just raise hands with answers. But does anybody from the media have any questions for us? Because here we are.
What percentage of the voters do you think you can get to vote for a third party that's not status quo? What would the goal be?
So the question was, what percentage of voters do we think we can get to vote for a third party, or what would the goal be?
Not representing the status quo.
That's not representing the status quo.
So libertarian doesn't count.
Libertarian doesn't count. So anybody from Occupy want to come on up? Carl? Great, the system works.
So one of the things about Occupy and a lot of leaderless movements that have been peopling our streets for a lot longer than some of us acknowledge, is that we're not really trying to affect the electoral system directly. Many of us do vote, and many of us are interested in getting the terrain of possible candidates widens, but as a movement and as a space, we don't really emphasize the electoral vein because, in fact, one of the interesting things I think is Occupy has maintained its power because it is not trying to speak to those in power. It is trying to create its own power, and it recognizes that the minute we try to sort of get concessions or get, some candidate to be our candidate, we're gonna, they're gonna do something that disappoints, and we're gonna lose the power. So I would just say that I have no idea how many people we can get to vote, but I know we can get a lot of people in the streets to change the discourse and maybe force candidates to address the real issues, which they don't.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else have any other questions for Occupy? Otherwise, we're just going to move on into open mic. Let me give folks a minute to think and process. Anyone? Bueller?
No, rather not.
Or about anything else, either our takedown or yesterday and town council and whatnot. We have a question from within.
It's not a question. Maybe it's a question. What's the open mic?
So the next step, what we're planning on doing was having an open mic where anybody can say anything for a few minutes, just sort of a public speak out, so even though we had 4 kind of hand-selected people who spoke kind of for Occupy, we recognize that that does not represent the full multiplicity of viewpoints that we have here. Since I don't see any other questions, I just wanted to acknowledge the people who worked on helping to plan this event. So thank you to everybody who helped plan this event. And so I really appreciate everybody who came out here today. So the way the open mic would work is that we'll just have anybody who wants to come up and just say whatever you want to say. We'd like you to try to do maybe 3 minutes or less than 5 minutes, probably quite a bit less than that, maybe 3 minutes. But, this is your opportunity. We've heard people say that you're concerned about, GA is not having enough opportunity to speak and speak out. View this as your opportunity to publicly speak out. And so I can be here for a little while and take stack. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically people raise their hands and one person says, all right, you're up, you're up, you're up. So we can move right in and start our open mic. Thank you guys so much for coming out. General Assembly, as always, is today at 6 p.m. Michal has kindly agreed to facilitate. Yay, Michal. And we will have potluck starting around in the next half hour or so. So if people have food, please come bring it out, and we'll see what we can do. Stephanie.
Just a brief acknowledgement. Occupy Chapel Hill is not the work of any one person, not even the work of any, not even a dozen. It's hundreds. We've had all the people that have facilitated for us. We have all the people that have stayed up doing night watch, keeping the people here sleeping in the tent safe, all the people that have slept here, all the people that have participated in our General Assemblies, all the people that have brought food, donated food. We've had numerous businesses that have helped us out, and we've got so many people to thank. I could not even begin to name them all. They've made our working groups function, that have kept us from killing each other, and for that I'm very grateful. We wouldn't be here without them.
Can I go after Lila?
My name is Lila. Hi. I'm 55 years old. I have a college degree in nursing. I've been a nurse for 25 years. In spite of that, I found myself homeless up until 2 weeks ago, thanks to a good friend that I met here. I would be sleeping under this portico tonight. I occupy because there are 3.5 million homeless people in this country. 1.6 million of those are children. Homelessness has changed in our country. It's shameful. We can do so much better. We have to do better. That's why I occupy.
Hi, my name's Becca. I have 2 teenage boys. I'm 35 years old, and I work a full-time job. I just wanted to say that Occupy for me has been an amazing growth experience for me. It's basically the first thing that I've done for myself outside of the home, outside of taking care of my boys, and outside of working. And I really have enjoyed meeting all these people and getting to know people that I would have never met in my life before. And I know this isn't the end, and I know we're going to keep going, and I hope everyone keeps coming back, because if we don't keep going, I'm going to miss you guys so much. So you better come back. We better keep going, because this is so important. This is so important for us to keep going. And we've done such good work. And we are so amazing by everything that we've done. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys, because you've changed me. You've changed my life. So thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. My name is Jeremy Gilchrist, and I'm here with from Occupy Raleigh. And I actually did spend a few nights here as well at the beginning, and I personally encountered some of the issues with people coming out and where I was pushed into a tent and whatever. But anyway, I want to get past that. But every city has to make the decisions that are best for them, and I just want to say that I support Occupy Chapel Hill in solidarity what they've decided to do here today. I know it's not an easy decision for everybody. I know some people may not have been on board with taking the camp down at first, but in the end, like it said, I assume you guys reached a consensus to do so. And from Occupy Raleigh, we look forward to Phase 2, and we look forward to continuing our solidarity with you. That includes the January 20th Occupy the Courts. You will see some of us, of course, with you. You guys are always welcome at Occupy Raleigh to visit and stay if you would like to, because that same weekend, on the 21st and the 22nd, we have major actions planned. On the 21st, Drum Out Citizens United, and on the 22nd, a major downtown march leaving from the state capitol at 1 o'clock. So we can turn that into a major action for all the regional occupies. I think that would be great in solidarity. So like they said, the energy, I think, into actions. I'm sorry. So I think we can pool our energy and continue major direct actions and actually affecting the change that we want to if we work together. And I think that needs to be something all regional occupies and beyond need to keep doing. So again, I support you guys going forward. I know it isn't easy, but we're with you.
Woo!
Hi, my name is Gal. I'm from Israel. I live in Germany, so I'm kind of all over the place. And I just wanted to make a little note, let's say on behalf of the international movement, self-appointed, of course, just to remind you all that you're not alone here occupying Chapel Hill. You're not even alone here occupying a lot of cities in America. This is a worldwide movement. People are occupying It started with the Arabian Spring. It went on to Spain, Greece, Portugal, Israel, and then finally it reached here. Just about the same time as I came here, which was lucky for me because I got to take part of this awesome movement in the country that still controls a lot of the world's economy and politics. And I'm very glad that I had this chance to affect the economy and politics of this country by being part of Occupy Chapel Hill, as we all did. And I would like to just thank everyone for this opportunity, and also to remind everyone that this struggle is going to go on in other places, like in Spain and Israel, that I have a special contact to. Obviously, the tents were torn down, sometimes peacefully, sometimes violently, but the movement didn't stop just because the tents weren't there. And our movement is also not going to stop. On the contrary, we're going to have more energies for further actions, and we're going to meet here every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 and every Sunday at 3:30. So please come to our GAs, join our actions, and let's keep the fire burning.
Yeah!
Hi, my name's Ilana, and I live up in New York City, and I've been really involved in the Occupy Wall Street movement up there. So just want to say solidarity from New York, and it's really cool to see what you have going on here, because I can attest firsthand to that the movement doesn't end when the tents are taken down. So I'm excited to see what happens from here, and really want to reflect on how cool it is that the movement, in the very least, has been teaching so many people around the entire world these common tools in consensus decision-making and just different things like what a people's mic is, what an open mic is, and just like learning how to listen to one another and work together. And I just want to reflect on how awesome that is and how much that kind of is one outcome in itself. So I look forward to hopefully meeting more of you here and wish you all the best.
Hi, I'm Will. Had an outstanding time. I'm going to hold it down and try to paint the rails and make sure everything gets cleaned up good around here. And after that, I really don't know what I'm going to do, but I do appreciate the experience. It wasn't at all what I expected, and I hope y'all continue to stand behind yourself, for yourself, and with yourself. No fear.
Did you answer?
No fear.
On the subject of no fear. Who was here the first night that we occupied this place? A few people, right? Do you remember the first meeting at which it was decided that we would occupy this place? There's a lot of doubt, a lot of concern. None of us knew what it would look like to have an occupation here. We did not have a permit. We had not talked to the authorities. We didn't know if it was possible. The only precedent we could come up with was from the 1960s, you know. And when the question came up in the General Assembly whether people would stay here, at first it was an abstract question. People said, "Oh, that's not possible," or maybe we should meet more, or maybe we should talk about it. And a few people said, "No, I'm going to stay here tonight." And it was their courage that made it possible for everybody else to imagine that this could really happen. You know? That night, I came here a little late, and we were sitting down to talk about what the occupation would look like, what would happen, you know. And I remember a person that I'd never met before sitting next to me, and the question comes up, "What will we do if the police come?" And she says, you know, she's about my age, you know, it looks like a conservative person. She says, "Well, I'm not leaving." You know. And it was that courage, just coming from people who hadn't met each other before, taking that leap of faith to believe in each other, that made this possible, I think, you know. I want to say, people are talking about this like it's the end. For me, these struggles have been going on for years, for decades, in this town that I grew up in. And really, you know, this is the middle of winter, actually. It's funny that there's so many people gathered here right now. 2012 is going to be a huge year. There's going to be so much happening this year. Not just an election, either, you know. You can vote, you know, it takes an hour once a year, once every few years, right? But all of the time, we can use our power to make the world that we want to live in, to create that at every moment. And that's why this has worked. Harry earlier said, we need you for Occupy Chapel Hill. The fact is we need each other. Because in a world in which we are disconnected from each other, in which we are alienated from ourselves and from our own potential as a community, we can only realize that by organizing together, by acting together, by taking that leap of courageous faith that I mentioned, which has happened over and over throughout the process of Occupy Chapel Hill and is definitely going to continue to happen. 2012 is going to be a big year. Thank you for joining us.
And I actually haven't really been involved with Occupy Chapel Hill. The reason I want to come up here and say something is that there's a lot more sadness in some of the folks talking here than I was anticipating, because I came feeling like I was invited to a party. And if you have any doubt at all that the impact of Occupy extends beyond the encampment and beyond the plaza, Occupy has meant so much to me in the last few months, so much, and it's changed the way that I talk about politics and the way that I imagine the rest of my life, and the way I imagine what this country and this world can be and what it can do, and the way I talk about it with anyone, the way I talk about it with my grandparents or my friends, things that were not, you couldn't say, you can say. So I'm here to party.
Next.
Hi guys, my name is Tate. I just wanted to call out to the student in me and any students on the street and any students in that school. I've been attending UNC Chapel Hill for the last 6-7 months, and I would like to say that is only one half of the education. I think maybe even less than half. Much less than half. And I think that being in this Occupy for the time that I was able to spend and the time that I was able to make, and I know compared to other people or compared to how I wanted to spend my time, it wasn't as much as I would have liked. But I know that I grew more than I did in my Econ 101 class. And I would just like to say that I think I would really like to see more students here, because I think this is part of life. This is part of growing up. This is part of becoming the person who you want to be. And after spending time in New York and after spending time here, I know I want to be an activist when I grow up. I want to keep doing stuff like this.
You already are! You already are!
Thanks, guys.
Next.
Yeah, hi. My name is Luis, and I was here from day one. And unfortunately, it didn't work out like we all wanted it to do. It got out of hand and all kinds of stuff. But we did meet a lot of people, and we spread the word around, and a lot of people got a lot of information. And the information that they brought, and the information that they gave to other people, informing people what was going on. It's not just about corporate greed. It's about all the programs that are being shut down, and the people don't realize what's happening. When it affects you personally, that's when you say, hey, my friend has been working for 30 years. How come you can't get no disability? How come the hospitals are not helping us? People with cancer. I met a lady that came here, and she nearly got on her knees and said, it's wonderful. Unfortunately, my husband's dying. This is his last phase of cancer, but he's still getting all the necessary, treatment that he's at. And she was blessed, and she realizes that a lot of people are losing a lot of privileges simply because nobody says anything until it affects you personally. So when you realize that something like that's happening, you have to spread the word and tell, because the programs are being shut down. Nobody's doing nothing about it, and the billionaires are getting richer and richer. We're doing something about it. We fight their wars and stuff like that, because I know a bunch of people in here don't have oil companies in Iran, Iraq, and they don't even pay for their own wars. Who pays for those wars? And who suffers? Your family, your brothers, your cousins. So I say just keep on, and remember, just spread the word, because that's all it takes. And call your politician and just talk.
Get the word out.
Yeah.
Occupy!
Everything!
Woo! We are Time Magazine's People of the Year!
Yeah! Woo!
Occupy is the most important word of 2000. Esto! Congratulations, Occupy, to everyone who's been so amazing. I don't know if those of you who haven't been here all the time have a sense of what an amazing community that sometimes isn't physically here. It might be virtual, it might just be sending over coffee, but it's been created over just a couple of months, and I feel really excited that this can go on and this can become the bigger thing that we all long for it to be. A different world, as Luis just talked about, in which economic justice is linked to all the other kinds of justice for race and gender and sexuality and freedoms for all. Woo! And I also wanted to just tell you something that a friend said when she heard that Ducati Park had been cleared. And she said, for the first time I wondered, what are all those people going to do? Where are they going to go to sleep? And then she caught herself and said, why am I not thinking that every single day? Woo! We know, as we've already said today, that there are millions of people who don't have homes in this country that has more money than any empire has ever had in the history of the world. And yet our people are hungry, our people are homeless. Why is it that only when an occupation brings that home that we can remember? And it's because that's what it takes to remember. Even as we might know, we know the statistics, we know it's there. It takes us being there, reminding each other of how important it is to fight back, to make a change, be the change that we want to see. So I just want to thank you all again, and hasta la victoria siempre pues!
Hi, my name is Steve Deere. I don't really deserve to have the mic, but thanks to the open mic opportunity. I say that because I only came to about, half a dozen general assemblies and things, and but I wanted to say this. I haven't heard anybody, I don't think, say this. From day one, and I've had the privilege of working as an activist in one way or another, or organizer for 30 years, and I have never seen such attention to process and inclusion like I saw here at Occupy Chapel Hill and Carrboro. And if you're involved in coalitions and political coalitions, for any length of time, it's that kind of thing, process, transparency, inclusion, taking the time to do the work up front before you get, in the decision making, that is incredibly important and saves perhaps years of struggle and effort. And I just was, at the first General Assembly after the raid here, it took about half an hour, I think, to decide how to decide something. And that could sound like a joke, but it was fine. It was great. It probably saved weeks or months or just never getting anywhere. And it was that kind of thing that just so impressed me. And it's easy, you might be thinking, if you're one of the core people, yeah, I lived through it all. It's easy for you to say, I know. But I'm just saying, I just noticed it, how impressive it was. And I thank you for the example, because you set a higher bar and standard for being an activist in our country. So thank you.
Thank you.
Don't let me have the last word.
Did you want to speak? Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
Hi, I'm Carol Edmonds. And several months before Occupy got started, things that were going on in this country were really upsetting me, and I just kept sitting there shaking my head and saying to different friends, where is the rage? Why aren't we upset about this? Why are people sitting back, keeping quiet, and letting this stuff happen? And when Occupy came, I jumped on it. I mean, this was what I was looking for. I mean, there's just so many things that are going on. The the energy companies raping our land, making our children sick with asthma from the dust from the strip mining. There is just so much going on with the mental health care system in this state. They are, it's just ridiculous. They keep cutting services, and now they're going to go to this sort of a HMO reform where the services are going to be sort of like rationed out by these for-profit companies. So, and there's reports on the web of the Department of Health and Social Services where they describe the treatment of the kids and how many's being served and this sort of thing, and basically saying that we have adequate facilities to take care of these folks. Well, that is not the case. We are exporting our mentally ill kids as far away as Tennessee and Florida and Georgia, and these poor people don't have the opportunity to be near their kids, and they're being shipped off to these out-of-state treatment centers, and this has got to be a stop put to it. I mean, this is a perfect example of people before profit, and that's what's going on in this country. It's profits, 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 and the hell with the people.
I just wanted to say one more thing in the spirit of celebration, or maybe just a way to think about the fact that Occupy is the word of the year. Because I've been really impressed by how quickly people get fed up and are saying, oh, they're done with, or like, when are we going to get an answer from them? And it's pretty interesting given the fact that I don't know how many months it's taken the legislature to not come up with a solution to the financial crisis. You know, what we are occupying is the space to really think about how to remake our system again. And I think that every time someone tells you, oh, well, I don't really, they don't really have an agenda, I mean, I would just point them to the fact that since October 15th, this has become a place where any action has resonance, right? When someone thought of the idea about transferring money from banks, they put it out there, and it reverberated. And there were people with which to reverberate. This is a space. This is a space where things can happen for the first time in a long time. And I think the minute we fight against the individualization and the atomization and the fact that we all just like rush from our work to our home, to our malls, to our cars, and we start just sitting and talking and thinking of these ideas, which range from transferring our money and growing gardens that can feed the community, we are really coming up with the solutions that are durable and are going to last. But that's going to take a long time because this system has been here for hundreds of years. This system, this economic and political system. So I just want to say that I am super excited, and I do think that we are doing something that is really meaningful and powerful. And I just thank you all for being here.
I don't see anybody else in the sort of self-appointed line of people who want to speak next. So I did want to just issue out a call. If anybody else, this whole open mic thing can keep going. We do have a GA at 6 o'clock. And we have some small amounts of food there. If anybody else has food, wants to go and get it and come back, that would be great. But we don't have a whole feast there right now. I can certainly shut off the mic. I feel like I need to somehow be entertaining folks. If I don't have the energy to entertain folks, I feel like y'all can talk amongst yourselves. Oh, so Gal will be having a giveaway of extra clothing. Where is that going to be located, Gal? In the corner next to the flagpole. So Gal will be moving soon, and needs to unload stuff. So she'll have a little mini free market here. Mini, really, really free market. I guess you have to do the really. So Diane has T-shirts. Thank you for those who didn't hear because she's audible. Sliding scale of 7 at cost to 15. If you can afford it, would be preferable. But if you can't, cost is good. Any other comments from the floor? Amanda, did you want to speak? Are you on? This is the little on-stack compiler who's on board. You stand there and you don't have a camera in your hand. All right. Go ahead.
All right. Once again, at 6 o'clock we have our General Assembly. It's how we get stuff done. It's how your voices get implemented. That's one of the things that Occupy is. We aren't leading anything. It's about hearing your voices. If you haven't been able to come out and camp, that's fine. If you haven't been able to come to a demonstration or a direct action, that's fine. This is an ongoing revolution. And I want to underscore that word. It's been used to sell cars and hamburgers and everything else.
Sex.
This is where the real meaning of the word comes in what you want change to be. You are the 99%. You are the ones who can change for the change. And part of it starts at our General Assemblies. Sometimes they're boring, sometimes they're contentious, but it's a way to the future to making real change. So if you don't have anything to do before our little party at 8, please come into the occupied post office. This wonderful building was built during the Depression in 1937 by our ancestors' tax dollars, during a time much like now when great travail was throughout the land. This post office is yours. This post office lobby is where the voice of the people comes into action. This plaza is yours. So don't be afraid. Sundays at 3:30 in the afternoon, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. All the time. We'll be here. We hope you come. We invite you constantly. Because once again, we aren't leading. We might be up in the crow's nest saying land ho, but it's up to you. And I hope you come and join us.
I'm Miriam Thompson. I'm a member of Occupy, the NAACP, and the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. You have seen the Raging Grannies here every week, serenading the encampment and all students and passers-by. But I want to tell you what an enormous presence Occupy had last night at the Town Council, putting Northside up front, Northside Pine Knolls up front, ahead of us so they had a chance to finally conclude or continue their battle to protect Northside Pine Knolls was noted by every Northside resident and Pine Knolls resident who was there. So it was a very powerful outreach effort and a continued alliance. And I want to tell you that some of us stayed till midnight. They did not stop talking about Occupy support for that community. The second thing and last I want to say is the NAACP. The work of Occupy to prepare this encampment for the annual commemoration of Martin Luther King and this beloved community which we represent has been noted by NAA, every member, every family member. This is a stunning presence, and I urge you all to be here at 9 with our literature, our banners, our T-shirts, our presents on the 16th at 9 a.m. at Peace and Justice Plaza.
Yay, Miriam!
Hi, my name's Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hi. You know, I just want to express kind of the shame, actually, that I feel for being affiliated, getting paid by the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. No, I'm serious about that. Just this experience has just filled me with just kind of sheer anger at these institutions. I'm a professor at UNC Chapel Hill, and I'm supposed to lecture to people that have less knowledge than me. that have less expertise than me. And our society is set up that way, through these technocratic experts, and experts kind of run our lives. And the best of times, and the worst of times, of course, people with no expertise, just a lot of money, decide who's going to live or who's going to die. But let's just assume it's the best of times, and technocratic university that has paid zero attention to what's happening here. What really can make a difference in our completely screwed up, completely corrupt system. We all know that here. The system has to change so thoroughly from the bottom to the top. But I'm just ashamed to be getting a paycheck from UNC Chapel Hill. And I apologize to the activists here, the occupiers and the activists, that I haven't done enough to get people out here, to get people to cross that line. You see people all the time, my colleagues, undergrads, grad students, just walking by, who pay literally no attention to what's gone on here for the last couple of months. The other thing I just want to say is that Diane is my lover, and oftentimes people say, you know, I've come to almost every GA here, and people and my friends say, well, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you say anything? And I could sit through GAs for a couple of hours, and I never felt the need to say anything. I mean, homeless, 15-year-old kids, they always said things more articulately than I felt like I could at that particular point. So there was never any need for me to professorially intervene, or like our technocratic society expects experts to do. There was just never any need for that. So I just want to thank all you people for that. It just filled me with this kind of glowing, kind of overflowing humility, but not a humility that was going to prevent me from doing things. In some sense, a humility that reminded me how important kind of people who are living in a society are, and how hopelessly fucked up the experts who get appointed to decide things for the rest of us really are. And again, how Marx says that capital societies are completely set up on these inversions, that capitalism is always going to privilege dead things like money or houses over living people, people who are actually doing the work, people who are living in societies. And just this example of this monstrous inversion between this future, if the U.S. or if the world has a future, it's only going to grow from places like this. Yet our society thinks that the future can only grow from these dead, hideous, dead institutions that exist right there on the other side of the street. We all know that's wrong, that the future, any future that we manage to grasp, is going to come from here, and it's not going to come from these dead institutions, filled with dead people, with dead ideas, who claim that, in some sense, who claim a privilege over us who are trying to struggle for life and justice. That's all I want to say, but to the people, to the 15-year-olds and everybody else who said more articulately and more beautifully and more passionately what I could have said, I just want to say thanks, and I've learned so much from all of you, and it's been such a great experience.
Hi, y'all. My name is Monica, and I wanted to offer something in the spirit of celebration, and it seems like maybe the open mic is wrapping up, so maybe this is a good place. I want to share with y'all and try and sing with y'all, if you're willing, a freedom song. So maybe if y'all want to come a little closer so we can hear each other and be really strong at our voices together, I think that will help. Many freedom songs are very old. This one is quite new. It was written just a few months ago by a sister from my chosen family for the All of Us North Carolina campaign. They're, fighting against this discrimination amendment that would prohibit queer families from being families. So the lyrics, I will tell them to you, and then maybe we can sing. I'll sing a line, and you can sing it back to me, and then we'll all sing it together, if that works. So the lyrics go: we do it for the ancestors, all of us. We do it for the ones to come, all of us. Marching across the Carolinas, from the mountains to the sea, till we all get free. So those are the words. So I'll sing one line and you sing it back to me, yeah? Okay, it goes. We do it for the ancestors, all of us.
We do it for the ancestors, all of us.
We do it for the ones to come, all of us.
you for the ones who come, all of us.
Marching across the Carolinas, from the mountains to the seas.
Marching across the Carolinas, from the mountains to the seas.
Till we all get free.
Till we all get free.
We do it all together? Yeah. We do it for the ancestors, all of us. We do it for the ones who come, all of us. Marching across the Carolinas, from the mountains to the sea, till we all get free.
Occupy everything.
So the food's set up if everybody wants to
So
eat.
food is set up. I think that was it. I did want to thank you, Miriam, for the reminder that we did consent, and I forgot to include that in the intro. We consent to break down the encampment in solidarity with and in support of the Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration on Monday. You know, that was our initial impetus, so that's sort of like the history, and so we've been trying our best to work in collaboration with and in consensus with. I think yesterday what happened with Northside was really a major move, a major step of unifying. Personally, I'm sorry that I couldn't make it yesterday, but and I think what we decided to do here with the plaza has been helpful. We plan to be back here. We've had talk about opening up the encampment again when the weather changes. I think I am going to shut off the mic, but if anybody feels moved to come up and say anything else, you certainly can, right up until the GA starts at 6. So I want to thank all of you for coming out and joining us for this celebration of our next steps. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah!
The only course?
The second course starts at your house. Oh, they're underneath the trash can. Like, I put them in there.
You're moving too fast. You're moving too fast.
I did not realize how heavy that was.
How heavy what was?
Just to hold it with
Oh,
a
the
thumb
can.
and a finger.
I know. That's why I've got.
Once you raise 2 kids, you have the arm.
Yeah, I got the biceps, man.
Thanks for the things you said.
Oh, well, thank you for the things you said. It was all very sweet.
I think if we want to, we'll continue seeing each other and doing things. This is a thing. That
I know. I just want, I just want it to continue.
I appreciated your energy about that, though.
Thank you.
That made it clear how much, not just you, but other people here are invested in this.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so.
Don't let me distract you from your work.
Oh no, they're listening, they're watching, they're they're good. They're gonna watch people eat. They're gonna watch Amanda occupy her plate.
Occupy the tummy.
She's occupying her plate. Here, we can take these off.
Vegetarian again?
What? No, there's meat.
Where?
On the sandwiches. God, you're such a complainer. Yeah, you are. No meat again. No meat again.
Well, he just wants to get to the meat of the issue.
Well, there's meat.
Vegetarian stuff.
Well, at least you're eating. Right? I thought there was going to be hummus. Where's the hummus? I was looking forward to that.
You are just on a hummus tear.
I can't remember what is it. You gotta put it in function. Careful.
I'm having a sandwich. Uh-huh.
Oh, we did have an Occupy movement, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
She finally woke up.
My man here can get in touch with Rosemary.
I have her email.
Well,
But
I'm in touch with her by email, but I thought she might be here.
oh, I haven't seen her.
Since I was going through, I thought maybe...
I haven't seen her here
okay,
today.
She's probably not here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm James.
Becca.
Becca,
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
If I see her, I'll tell her you stopped by.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. Yeah, take care. Thanks for doing that. Yes.
It's a lentil salad.
Hey. Well, no, when I put up. It's got all the hormones.
I love hormones.
Exactly.
Yummy hormones.
You know what's missing?
I want a leg or a drumstick.
So, hey, come on, let's get something.
No, I'm not going to eat anything. I don't want to.
He's just like having a friendly conversation.
And then he said they were asked.
We can at least publicize that.
You're like our little mascot.
It's funny bringing that in there too, where they're talking about the book thing.
Oh, well, who are the other guys?
It doesn't specify.
Thank you.
I'm cool. We published the book recipes last year. How to order.
You know what we plug in?
Plug in for what?
Is that the PA Jill using?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, I'll just leave it and wait for her to get here.
Yeah, because we don't have electrical outlets out here.
I know. I don't know what she needed the extension for. I mean, she just asked for it.
Maybe to go inside,
Maybe.
but I don't know if we're allowed to
I'll
do
just
that.
wait.
We're live on Occupy TV. Hey everybody, we're live on Occupy TV! Everybody say hi! Woo! How many viewers do I have on Occupy TV? Oh! Occu-cakes!
Such a pain in the ass.
Let's look at those.
Those are vegan,
Nice.
everybody. So,
Did you make those?
Kiva.
Nice.
I'm not really a baker.
I'm not a baker either. Do you want my top thingy? I don't know how to take them. I'm being restreamed.
You're being restreamed.
On Occupy TV.
Like, we're live on Occupy TV?
Yes, we are. You want to say hello?
I want to say hello, and I want to tell everyone on Occupy TV that they should be staying tuned and joining us for Nomadic Occupy as we rove Chapel Hill Carrboro.
That's right.
Yes.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
We're going to rove.
We're going to rove. I need to plug this thing in. All the tents are down except for one. One person is refusing to leave. And And that's why that tent is there, right there. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens now that Occupy Chapel Hill isn't here. And he's abstaining from Occupy Chapel Hill and doing this on his own. It'll be interesting to see what happens. He's sort of, he doesn't have a home anyway, and so there was really nowhere for him to go. He didn't want to go to a homeless shelter, and so this has basically been his home for 3 months, and he doesn't want to go. I don't blame him. Does anybody have any questions? You guys are a quiet bunch. +40 viewers, nice. Thanks. We're going to start our GA here in a little bit. So, everyone says hi. I'm just plugging in my extra battery. There we go. We're starting our GA at 6. And then after the GA, we're going to have a party with a DJ, the B report. So that'll be fun. And everyone's sort of noshing on the food right now. So this isn't the end of Occupy Chapel Hill. We're just taking down the tents. And then we are looking for an indoor space. We will still have GAs, we will still have teach-ins, we will still have direct action. Hello, Jeff. How are you? Say hello to my viewers. Nice shirt.
Yeah, before I got here, I started having a nap and I never seem to wake up.
Oh, excuses. Just in time for the food. How convenient. You're here at last. At last. Very nice. Welcome.
Hey, Becca, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I got you too.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
That in a very compromising position. That was not my good side, by the way. Excuse me. Can we try this? Can we try this again? Hold on a minute.
Well, I'll make sure the stream is now facing a wall.
I know.
Oops, I blocked my flash.
Oh my gosh.
Let's try it again.
Okay.
I gotta get rid of the hat or turn it backwards.
Okay, sorry, I was getting a picture taken of me. It was very important work. I had to make sure I have to approve. Thank you.
I'll do that.
Let's approve this. It's alright. It'll do. Could you Photoshop?
I do something better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you Photoshop me. Make it work.
My niece off at Christmas, she had a baby. She goes, "Don't take my picture." I said, "Don't worry about it. I got Photoshop." She didn't take it.
Let's see. We're in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It's on the Peace and Justice Plaza, and law enforcement has basically left us alone here. We broke down camp on our own, and we did have some trouble with the law when some anarchists broke into a building down the street. Some Occupy Chapel Hill members were a part of that, and they came in, the police officers watched them for 24 hours and then came in with assault rifles the very next day. You might have seen that picture. And but here at the encampment on the Peace and Justice Plaza, they've left us alone. They haven't bothered us one bit. They haven't upped security. They haven't spent any money. The city hasn't spent any money on us. So they've just let us do our thing. Thanks for the question. Everyone's ducking. You're the people I'm filming. Everyone's ducking out of the way. I'm like, wait, but you're supposed to be in the picture.
We're not shy.
I'm not shy.
I'm reclaim my drink here somewhere.
Did you lose it? You lost it. Can you hold my viewers for a second?
I will hold your viewers.
Wait,
Hello,
you're
viewers.
blocking the camera. It's over on that side.
Hello, viewers. Where in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, is the call has been received by law enforcement asking 40+ viewers?
Okay.
Would you like to answer a question? Arwen James, where
I already answered that question.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Question answered.
Question has been answered. That is the man holding the camera. Say thank you, Brandon. Everybody say thank you to Brandon.
I'll thank you. It's cool. That's how I started watching the videos that she was streaming. I was like, this is like calling to me.
Let's see, there's more food coming. We got chips.
Looking for drinks right
We got, huh?
Looking for drinks right now.
Right there.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh.
Got poison ivy.
Oh,
And
no.
I had to take the
Ooh.
President, and this makes me thirsty.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's plenty of water and soda and lemonade. And I made sure to get enough.
So, walkie fires getting any trouble lately? Or?
They did. Well, you saw that, but they just got out today.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. They just got out.
Did you see my comment about the Tea Party with the guns at the presidential
Yes.
appearances? And if you did that, it's like a shot. I mean,
Yeah.
It's kind of...
I know, it was really
weird
ridiculous.
thing.
And you know, the thing is that Occupy Charlotte knew that they had been banned from that place, and so it was kind of strange that they told them to go over there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a little fishiness going on but they're out today. They finally got out, and they're moving on in the morning.
Yeah, I went through the one of the Charlotte websites had some mugshots of everybody gets arrested.
Yeah.
So I had to catch Garth and Sarah's pictures in there.
Oh, really? So you didn't even know?
No, I knew. I saw. I went to the Walkify page and saw it, and that's when I got wind of it. And then did a little bit more looking into it. Saw the video was just nuts. So.
Yeah. You guys should watch it. Go to the Walkify page, walkify.org.
Did they get it straightened out?
Oh, maybe it's down. But they also have a Ustream. If you type in Walkify on Ustream.tv, you can see their arrest when they're in Charlotte. It's actually titled BOA in CLT.
Yeah, I saw the one with them being arrested.
Yeah,
it's stupid. It's insane.
Well, I mean, when they got arrested, I don't know if y'all know the area or not.
No?
Not really.
It's like this.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, they got arrested on
It's like you were standing here looking at the building.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And that was private.
Well, it was a sidewalk, and there was different colored bricks for the sidewalk. It was just ridiculous.
My name's Kevin Smith.
Mike.
Mike, nice to meet you.
Occupy Raleigh.
Occupy Raleigh?
Yep.
Okay.
Occupy Raleigh in the house.
I've been going around taking a lot of pictures of different Occupy. I caught the first one at the state capitol.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do need to get over to you guys' campsite, scope it out, and get a shot. So.
Oh, you missed it when we were on the front lawn of the Capitol.
That was the night you got arrested. Was the day I was there, the first arrest, right? Or you talking about something else?
Talking about everything after that.
Yeah, I left too early as usual. I haven't seen arrest one.
Hey, grab more food, and I
I think people want us to go inside.
No, we sit out in the front line of the Capitol for.
We could cuddle. Let's all cuddle a GA. Hey, baby. Little spoon. I'll be the little spoon. Oh, really? Oh, yes. I meant it. I really did.
South Campbell.
Yeah, I know. I was like, the ski-bird fruit again. Exactly. I don't want it to just be on my... I know. I don't either. I don't either.
Now, that was your video of the guy playing the guitar at the rally camp the other night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I saw the guy singing the song.
Wasn't that cool? That was so fun.
Or did he just show up?
Yeah.
Jonathan's regular.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
It's a cool song.
And then we had these people stop by that were like from this, they're religious, but they have their own community, but they, do their own work.
No.
Well, what are they called? They like.
I don't remember what they call themselves.
Like where the women take care of the women's work and the men, and they all. Commune. Thank you. They're a commune. And they came and they sang for us. And it was so beautiful. They were harmonizing and they had a guitar. And it's on there too. It's underneath the camp songs.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. I wonder if all these people are staying for GA. That'll be interesting. That'll be a really large GA.
It'll be bigger than some of ours have been.
Huh?
I said it'll be bigger than some of ours have been lately.
Well, we usually have like 20 to 30 people at our GAs.
We're actually starting, there's actually a proposal to cut them back from every night.
Yeah.
Down to once or twice a week.
Well, that's what we do, huh?
I wonder if we could start GA out there because we need to do visioning, and I feel like with this many people, it's going to be really hard.
It's not that cold. We should do it outside. I think we should do it outside.
I agree about it. You got a calendar going too on your side?
Yeah.
Others are cold.
We'd like to get some more shots of it.
Well, I guess it would depend on who is everybody staying for GA. That's maybe the question. Hi. I'm Becca. Nice to meet you. Chris. Becca, nice to meet you. I hope you don't mind me streaming you. What? Okay, but I'm not facilitating, so. I'm just here for the ride.
It's a relief.
Yeah, no, I will never facilitate. That job is way too difficult for me. Hi, how are you? I think I have your dish.
I'm not with you.
Hi, good to see you again. Mike, check.
General Assembly is about to start.
General Assembly is about to start. Let's all do it, William's tent. Whose stuff is this?
Oh, it's not mine.
It's all yours?
Yeah.
Right. Sure.
I'm good. How are you?
Are you, is that on Ustream?
Yeah, say hi to my viewers.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
You'll lose a few viewers if you put that at me.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, you're right. I did. I lost a viewer.
My work here is done.
Your work here is done. Thanks.
You
Appreciate
can see
it.
how many people are viewing?
Well, yeah, there's 5 here, but then I'm being restreamed on another channel. That has like 40 plus.
We will move inside. Are people okay with that? Just to start outside because there's a bunch of us and we're going to do some visioning that requires breaking into small groups. Can I get a temperature check of not the temperature? Hold on. Okay, so,
hello.
start. Anyone here for the first time at a GA? Cool. Okay, so we're just going to go over some of the ground rules, and then we will finalize our agenda for this evening. Then
I'm not wearing a very warm jacket.
Visioning exercise that
that will require that we break into small groups, and then we will go inside for the rest of the meeting, which includes report back from working groups and whatever we approve for the agenda this evening. Does that sound good? All right. Well, before you can tell me if that sounds good, I have to review how we work. Yep. So basically, we do work on a consensus model, and we try to use hand signals to help us communicate with one another, but also to keep people from having to repeat what others have said. So if you hear someone talk and you like what they're saying, you do a simple. If you're just indifferent, you go like this, and if you want to register sort of discontent, you go like this. This is also when I call for a temperature check. This is like if we're discussing something and we are trying to get a sense of how the group is feeling, the same signals apply. When we vote, some people use these signals and others just do a much more direct thumbs up, indifferent, down. There's one really important sign called a block. It was mentioned a couple of times this afternoon, and that means that someone feels really strongly that they oppose something and we have to work it out. We have to keep talking about it until we resolve what the block is. We work by stack, so I actually I need a stack taker for this evening. Is there anyone who would volunteer to take stack? Stack is when you raise your hand in order to be called upon, and then someone sort of keeps track of, and we work on a slanted stack so that if someone has spoken a lot and someone else has spoken
Thanks, 99.
then we can add them. You'll do stack? All right. Do you know people's names? No. Okay, you'll point at people. Okay, great. So, what is your name again? Rob is going to be our stack taker, so make sure he sees you when you want to speak, and he'll sort of keep track of the order. I also need someone to take minutes. Got it? Cool, Maria, thank you. I also need someone to keep time. Anyone willing to keep time? Thank you. And then finally, we need someone, might not be this necessary when we go inside, but we like to have a greeter who tells people what's going on when people walk by perplexed or sort of seem like they're hanging out on the end wondering if they can join in. So someone who's sort of out there saying, this is a general assembly, this is what we're doing, or this is the topic we're on. Is anyone willing to do that? Sure? Okay. Sure. So, a minute. Awesome. Have I forgotten anything of our ways that we work? Oh, we are also being live streamed. We are on video. If anyone has a problem with being on camera, let Becca know. And if we're having a discussion that is sensitive and we don't want it to be streamed, we can also make that decision then. All right? Cool. Hi. I don't know if I said my name. I am Michal, by the way. Thanks, Michal. All right. So let's get a few agenda items on, and then we'll do our visioning. For the agenda tonight, we don't actually have anything pending. There is one thing that sort of emerged, and I am not clear on whether it should be an agenda item or a discussion point, but William, is William here? This tent has not been taken down, and William doesn't want to take it down, and so we have agreed that we would clear this off for MLK Day, and I don't know if we need to discuss what we want to do about it. I think that's, okay, so we can put that on the agenda. Before the agenda items, there will also be a lot of report backs from working groups, so there is definitely stuff to talk about. It's just agenda items are things that need to be very specifically discussed. Is there anything that folks would like to talk about or should be on the agenda? The minutes didn't get posted due to people's illnesses, so yeah.
Our ongoing presence at the plaza.
Okay, so Peace and Justice Plaza presence. Ongoing, in Occupy 2.0. All right. Do you have something to add? Really? All right, so I'm going to start us off with just a really simple visioning question. And when I say visioning, this is sort of an exercise we've done to allow space for some open-ended discussion to get like the juices flowing and our ideas and concerns and thoughts out. And tonight's question, as you might imagine, is what is Occupy 2.0 for you? Or in other words, what next for us as the Occupy movement? I mean, there are things already in the woodwork, but let's have some space to talk about it more. We've been so busy trying to plan for this and lots of other direct actions that I don't think folks have had the time to express that. So in groups of, let's say, 6-ish times 6 people, just get together on your own and discuss that. And if you could, try and make sure everyone gets a chance to talk, maybe take a second to introduce each other. And it is really helpful to allot someone or assign someone that wants to report back. And so maybe they'll take notes or to give a condensed sort of report back of what the group said. Okay? So we will have 15 minutes, or I'll tell you in 10 minutes, and then we'll check if we need the extra 5. Is that good? Awesome.
I just got your tweet.
Which one?
The one saying where you are.
Oh.
See how fast that happens?
Okay.
Group!
Okay, I think I'm going to have to move over here and sit with these lovely ladies who are also not moving.
That's right.
Maria.
I think we met in Raleigh.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
You're famous.
I get that a lot.
Don't have as much.
Small group. We're waiting to enlarge.
Okay. I've come to join you. It's one of my chances to be honest. They don't come on that often anymore.
No, this is so much more like Claudia or Rebecca or someone. I really don't know what's going on with the campus right now.
What?
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Miriam.
I'm Maria.
Okay. So Maria,
Well, honestly, I'm really interested to hear other people's ideas about this.
Oh, my Twitter is OccupyCHC. Still over here grazing, huh?
Yes, and there's still some good food to be had.
Fantastic. We have, well, I have 5, and then the Restream has 45.
Excellent.
So we got 50 people watching us. It's very exciting, and a lot of pressure, I might add. A lot of pressure. So all of this stuff here is going to be gone by tonight, except for this tent right here, which we're going to talk about. It's one of our agenda items tonight. That, what's all this stuff? This is the free pile? Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my God.
I want that. The suitcase.
Probably have it.
Really? What else is in here?
That a slinky? Oh my God, the slinky. Yeah, dude.
What's this stuff? Socks and a jacket thingy? Ooh, that's a nice one.
That'll go for $19.99. They do that. That'll go for $19.99.
And
$19.99.
and free.
Hey, it'll go for $19.99.
It's free.
Why it's free? That's my leather jacket.
What are you talking about? It's free.
That's my kid suitcase too.
No, it's not.
$13.
It's mine now. There's a tennis ball. I want the tennis ball.
Let her go for a quarter.
I know, because I have dogs.
You know I'm just joking.
Yes, I do know you're joking.
But listen though, since I done got booted off the premises,
What?
you still like me?
Do I still like you?
Yeah.
Are you going to be nice to me?
I always be nice to you.
If you're going to be nice to me, then I will like you.
I always be nice to you.
Okay, well, here.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, man. Look at you.
See what happens when you're nice to me?
Can we hold hands and say kumbaya?
No.
Kumbaya.
We cannot.
Kumbaya.
Oh, there's tons of pressure. Are you kidding me? 50 people to entertain? What else is... There's a pencil.
All right.
I'm going to take a pencil.
What's that? Is that a top?
I don't know. What is this?
I'm afraid.
This looks like a man's thing. Some beads. Some... Look, matches! You don't want the slinky?
I don't want to walk around using this because it looks sketchy.
You want a slinky.
It looks sketchy.
Put the slinky on that.
I don't want to take the slinky.
Take the slinky.
Why should I take the slinky?
I don't know. So this is what I've collected. I have a jacket, a pencil, a tennis ball, and a suitcase.
It's like Blue's Clues. Now, what can we make from all of this?
How fantastic is that? Look, tape!
Where's Blue hiding?
I want the tape.
Where's Blue hiding? We have
And I want
pencil,
this. How am I going to get this to my car?
Tape, a jacket, and a suitcase. Where could Blue be hiding?
A pregnancy test. Does anybody think they're pregnant?
These suitcases actually great.
Yes.
Ron might be.
Ron might be. Will you hold? Will somebody hold this? Hold this for a second. I need to pack my suitcase. You can watch. Hold it this way. They can watch me pack my suitcase. You can see I'm gonna pack my suitcase. All of my new stuff.
I got new stuff from her too. She actually said that one was broken in a couple of places. I don't know what she meant by that.
Wait a minute.
It's got lots of zippers, huh? It's rigged. It's the magic suitcase. You undid the wrong zipper.
There's too many zippers.
That's never stopped you before. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, the table got put away.
Well, put it on the wall there. You see where that's, yeah.
Oh, did Brandon take the table?
He's going to, yeah, they're going to put it in the truck. I took almost all her clothes. Yay, me. Watching Becca pack. Watching Becca pack. Living on a jet plane. Don't know what I'll be
I
back.
look like I'm going somewhere important.
Take off your shoes and feel at home.
It's the free pass.
It's hers.
So I took it. And I packed it with goodies.
Yes.
I got tape, got a pencil, got a tennis ball.
And a pregnancy
I got
test?
a jacket. No, I left the pregnancy.
Oh.
I don't want to know if I'm pregnant.
Make your cup happy.
Huh?
Make your cup happy.
Yes.
Great.
New fresh tennis.
And what else did I get? Q-tips.
Oh, I missed those.
Beauty, like, cotton pad thingies.
I got some cod liver oil
Leather
pills.
jacket for Nick.
Good. I took a wool one. But it's wet.
See that wool sweater?
Yes. It's a guy's sweater.
I put this in the car.
Okay. What am I supposed to do with this?
You can hold it.
Like this? I feel retarded. Are you guys okay with Lila holding you?
Nothing happens.
I know, it's so boring right now. Everyone's doing visioning questions.
Amanda, you want to Ustream?
I'm just standing here.
That's the only thing you have to do when you Ustream is hold it like this. The camera's on this side.
Okay, so just like that.
Just like that.
And what I see is what I get, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just don't block the camera.
Just a bottle of bubbles.
And I'm gonna go put this in my car.
What got your credit card?
We're going to have another 5 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can I just make a little comment? There is actually an action that has been stuck for a long time, but if you want to put your power into it and like help David restart it, that would be awesome. Which is the use cash action. I don't know how to call it exactly, but basically we would like to encourage people to use cash instead of plastic because it helps the people
Brother, I know nothing about
have to pay a lot of money every year for this credit card, and also just to keep this money from going to the bank and keeping it here in our community. So
And cash with occupied doors stuff on it, right?
But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in
I've been
on our part going out to other groups that we want to collaborate with, but showing Chapel Hill and Harborough that Occupy is an asset to our community and making it a place where student groups I'm thinking of particularly, like with tuition hikes and similar things going on, that they should see Occupy as people they can come to show community support for their initiatives to appeal to the Board of Governors to ameliorate these crazy tuition hikes that are on the table. So that's just an example. But we shouldn't be the people who always have to go out and reach out to people. We should figure out how we can be a resource for other groups.
It's kind of interesting. We had a quite energetic conversation about 2 GAs ago and about what it meant, what Occupy meant to us. And Maria also said, I don't know what Occupy means to me. It's a bit of a clearing house where existing issues can be raised and we can think of innovative ways to do things. You, for instance, mentioned the Board of Governors. I'll go back to the Gallagher. A lot of what the discussion has been about an independent review, for example. And it's not just the economy that's wrong, it's the political process that's wrong. And people say, okay, look, I want to do something about tuition hikes. I want to do something about the police, assault rifles on the street. What's the process? Well, the process is you apply here, you do, okay, guess what? I want to go to Occupy. Do you know what Occupy does? It cuts through the crap. And it says, the process is fine, ownership is fine, but we are civilly disobedient as well. So if you actually want to say something's wrong, we can say the unsayable, do the undoable, and fix the unthinkable. That's what Occupy does.
That's exactly what I mean. Well, what's happened with tuition hikes is they've tried to go through the process and, gathered a group of people, drafted an alternative proposal to tuition hikes that took into account budget cuts, that took into account increasing needs, but also took into account the need for maintaining a diverse group of people at UNC. Not that it's the most diverse place on earth, but and taking into account the needs of students and their families. And the process didn't work. It was shut down before it wasn't even allowed to come to the table as a viable alternative to the plan that was proposed by the suits or whatever. And so now they're seeking another way, and what they're doing is protesting in before the Board of Governors, and they should feel that Occupy is a place for them to come and
exactly, and say, it's a great thing to be able to say to society, guess what? If all else fails, we've got Occupy. My interest is being a street market cooperative, and I've been advocating for 6 years there for the workers to be better treated, because everyone thinks, oh, it's a co-op, the workers are well treated. They're not. They are horribly exploited because it's a co-op, and everybody thinks they're not exploited. I'm about run out after six years of avenues. So one of these days I may be coming to Occupy and saying, guess what? It's time to dump Occupy on Main Street, protest outside and say, guess what? There is an alternative to the normal process. You're wrong. It's just wrong. And that's what Occupy means to me. It's the ability for people to say, I don't know how, I don't know why, I just know it's wrong, and I know I can go and occupy a plaza, or stand on a table, and scream and shout, and be badly behaved, and say, it's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to. All right, mic check.
Mic check.
We have to reconvene, but the conversation will continue.
We have to reconvene, but the conversation will continue.
So there was a request to go inside. Are people cool with that?
Are people cool with it? Cool with it. It's a hot idea.
Yeah, okay. So let's go inside for our report back. I got it.
We have a lot of people. Should we go over them?
I'd like to remind everyone that sometimes a man comes out of that door, so we probably don't want to block that door. Well, remember we came in the post office. He would also try to put the dogs down there.
kind of a permanent space that could be used as an autonomous university, I believe is the phrase, to where people can come and meet and learn. We could do teachings there, kind of educate ourselves beyond what we're gonna get elsewhere. Let's talk about networking both with other Occupy groups and other organizations within the community that share our goals and our concerns as far as where to planning actions with them and kind of cross-pollinating, bring people more into the movement. Some people were interested in consensus training, showing people outside of Occupy how our consensus model works and how and teaching people that using that as a way of running things.
Having the General Assembly become like a
General Assembly. Yeah. Right. We have General Assemblies become more of a kind of a space where we can bring things that are happening in the entire community. The north side action being an example of this. I think that got most of it.
Well, good. Next person.
Thank you.
I got it. Okay. Our group, Teach-ins, bringing Teach-ins to other organizations who are in struggle, especially the piece about corporate greed and how that may be feeding into things other organizations are experiencing. More study groups to inform political work. These are ongoing groups collectively coming together to become more informed so we're more effective. Teach-ins are one-time, study groups are ongoing. Awareness, dialogue, and action. More opportunities to talk to each other and other people in the community. More education about struggles in the immediate community, like emergency food assistance. Get churches involved, see a broader Occupy involved with the larger community. Einstein said you cannot solve a problem with the level of consciousness that created it. Occupy has a different level of consciousness and we need to protect that because we are thinking outside the box and we're values-based and we approach things from a win-win perspective. Our tactics need to be strategic and resonate with a broader constituency. And again, study groups came up, especially study groups that have the historic consciousness of the many people in this community who have been doing this work longer than 20 years. So history of movements and that we are standing on the shoulders of others who have done this before. Conversations with key faith leaders. Well, thank you.
Our group also talked a lot about networking with the broader community and reaching out to community organizations. We also talked about emergency food assistance, working with groups like IFC, and some of the concrete ways of doing more, reaching out to other members of the community that aren't represented at Occupy, included continuing with teach-ins, inviting key community leaders to come and have conversations with Occupy at the General Assembly, identifying opportunities to support other groups that are doing direct action or holding events, and importantly, kind of creating, figuring out how Occupy can be an ally and an asset to those groups so that it's not Occupy doing all the outreach, but making Occupy a space where people want to come and find out, since people want to ask about what we do here because it is a really different space. And in that spirit, maintaining our values of civil disobedience and not compromising those values and figuring out how to do that as we reach into other groups and work with other groups that maybe aren't as don't have the same kind of simplicity and you know what I mean. Yeah. Anybody else from the group cover it?
I'm just going to do something that usually facilitators have to do, a process point that I forgot to mention, that this is a sign called if something is not going around the process, and this is just a point that I wanted to remind us we are a larger group again, yay! So please introduce yourselves and say who you are. I mean, you have to, just your name.
I'm Kate.
Thanks. All right, do we have any more groups?
I'm Kevin.
We agreed with a lot of the other groups about community outreach. Maintain the presence. I feel that Occupy has got an amazing brand built in 90 days worldwide. You can't lose it. And we kind of, myself and some of the others have not been regular to the GAs. We're interested in 2.0 is okay. Let's take it somewhere and get the media presence. I don't know if it's possible. I'd like to look at nationwide. Let's do a super PAC. Let's fight fire with fire. And that could come with fundraising, and that could be a very valuable weapon on down the road. I mean, not use weapon, but it's a very valuable tool. And then just direction, the community outreach, and the direct action. Try to keep that going. Kind of the thought is, a lot of what I'm hearing in the press is that Occupy's had this day is starting to fizzle out. Let's take the winter to regroup, do like the winter does, sow the seeds, and in the spring we need to come out wide open, and we need to make it to the Democratic Convention. And always serve.
Just remember, this is a post office, and some people will be walking to their mailboxes, so please don't block them. Just that way. Any more groups? Are we?
So we first discussed about the concept of Occupy consciousness. So whether it was a good concept that meant something to us, and whether it was too ethereal. And it was about, the idea that people in Occupy capitalism have different areas of interest, and then, that we need to take advantage of people's specific interests and willingness to reach out and to educate others. And we talked about how that part of that outreach and education could be especially about saying, to others that things aren't okay, and that, we can teach ourselves about those things that aren't okay, and especially about the financial crisis, and like two clear messages that there is, no market that kind of works by itself, and we have granted it too much power, and we need to take it back. And the other thing was that, the need for empowerment in our community now as well. And we also agreed that the next phase needs to really focus on direct action, because we kind of talked about how just occupying space may also become something that is okay with power, with establishment, and we'll kind of get used to it, and we become part of the environment, and so how we need to direct action and to use Occupy as a mechanism for more direct action. And so that would be two ideas, one about boycotts, supporting boycott actions, and we talked about this idea that we don't need to use credit cards, but start using cash, so that companies and like Visa and banks will not get profit from our use of credit cards, and the cash will stay in the community. And the other thing was support foreclosures. Support actions against foreclosures.
Great. These are awesome ideas, and we're going to segue into report backs from working groups. But since this is a bunch of people that haven't been here, I just want to explain that we have a number of working groups, and right now we're just going to ask anyone who has a report back. If you're curious about a working group and want to get involved, check out the website. It should say when, who to contact and also when they're meeting. And some working groups have gone quiet and might need to be recreated or just invented as a need. So working groups are ad hoc project groups, but they do get brought to GA so that everyone knows about them. And just so people do know that there is a new working group forming on visioning and trying to organize sort of longer sessions that we can sort of build these out, like these kinds of conversations out, and so more to come on that. So can I ask folks who have report backs to please raise your hand? Here.
Yeah, hi, I'm Harry, and I work with the outreach group, and a couple of items. Typically what we try to do is reach out into the community to faith groups, to civic organizations, to individuals who want to know more about Occupy. Tomorrow, an occupier will be speaking to the, and Tom, correct me on the name of this, the Peace and Justice Committee at Bickley Baptist.
Right.
Close enough?
Right.
Thanks. In a larger way, one of our first outreach efforts was the Friends meeting, the Quakers here at Chapel Hill. We got together and talked for about an hour, and in about 10 minutes we had 4 projects conceived because we had so much in common, so much commonality among the different friends and occupiers. So, Ann Shy, one of the friends, asked if we would support her in her efforts to do a foreclosure program, which you just reported on a minute ago. So a week from this Saturday, from 11 to 1, across the street at the UUMC, the Methodist Church, there's a foreclosure information forum with 9 foreclosure attorneys. Intended audience are both everyday people who want to know more and individuals whose homes are scheduled to be foreclosed on. So with that in mind, Ann has asked me to recruit 10 occupiers to help with the program on the 21st across the street. 4 folks have already stepped up. If there are other folks who would be interested in helping out, please see me. And I'll announce this also on the listserv. And let me also pass around some flyers announcing that foreclosure event. Thanks. Oh, and a few of us also met with Traction and LGBTQ group on Sunday. Great, wonderful, wonderful meeting. They're interested in becoming occupiers, and we were only too happy to suggest ways that they could fold in. And as Brian said a little while ago, we need you and we need each other, and let's party. Thanks. I'll pass this around. Thank you.
Maria, Direct Action.
Okay, Direct Action Working Group. Guess what? Nomadic Occupy. We will be occupying Carrboro in front of the Town Hall Friday, January 20th that evening, so that we will be there for the farmers market first thing Saturday morning, so that we can finally do Occupy George, which is when we take money, which is propaganda, and turn it into our propaganda instead of the Federal Reserve's propaganda. So please join us. We are seeing this as a family-friendly event. My daughter will not be there, but I invite you all to bring your children. And tomorrow night, Hargrave Community Center. We will be putting up at least 2 tents at 4:30. If you have tents, bring them. We will be there for the Community Advisory Policing Committee meeting. We will not be disrupting the meeting, Bert. We were not doing anything illegal. We will have soup, and we will be putting up tents. And I have a press release for this, and I need a person to be the second quote on the press release, so it's not just my name all over the place again. So, tomorrow night, Occupy Nomadic, Hargrave Community Center. This is great. I'm glad they moved it from the Town Hall, because we get to be a Northside community tomorrow night.
Do you want to explain why they're meeting? I mean, why we're...
Oh, the Community Policing Advisory Committee has been handed Roger Stansel, town manager's atrocious internal review, in which he said, gee, it's okay to take assault rifles and turn them on activists, as long as, I guess, you don't shoot anyone. And then the town council, I wasn't there for the whole meeting, but my understanding is that they met, and only Lauren Eastholm said, wow, that's really a bad idea. And the rest of them went, oh, yeah, keep doing that.
That's not true.
So, really?
No, there were a handful of other council members who supported her.
Okay.
Not a majority, but they were firm.
Thank you, Miriam. So we want to be a presence available to
the Community Advisory Policing Committee, as they are coming and going from their meeting, they can come out and talk to us. The last meeting, there wasn't even room for everyone who wanted to sit in the room, and they didn't take comments. They are having a 30-minute comment period. If you want to be someone who goes in the building and makes comments to them, I personally will be watching the tents. So we're there. We're a presence. We have soup. Hopefully we're a non-threatening presence. And we're there to also inform and support the rest of the community. And I really am excited that we're going to be in Northside.
Yes. So, if anyone has any more questions about what led to this, please, lots of us can talk about it. And Direct Action meets Mondays at 6:30, correct?
Direct Action meets Mondays at 6:30 here at the post office until further notice.
Do you want the press release on the website?
Yes.
Can you email
but not
it to
till
me?
Midnight.
Can you email it to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the report back.
I'm Becca from Media, and the website is now available to look on your smartphones. That's pretty much it. Everything else is not important or...
Hold on a second. Yeah, are you done with that?
Yeah, I mean, everything else is boring.
No, just a quickie. This is the beauty of Occupy. There's going to be an inside and outside strategy. Many of us are going to try to get many people, not just 30 minutes of input, but really having the people who have deep concerns about this to have a major role in the construction. We lost the Independent Commission for now. They are going with the Community Policing Advisory Council, but we have friends on that council. So we want to stack it, we want to make sure the public is continually involved, and we want to bring in outside experts who really know what it's like, what the whole, the issues. So we should be outside and we should be inside.
All right, I have this gentleman and then Amanda.
I'm just wondering, what's the best way to get the website? I haven't been able to find it.
OccupyChapelHill.org. OccupyChapelHill.org.
And that's the way you can get lots of information and get on. If you go there, I think you can find out how to get on the listserv, if I'm not mistaken.
It's true.
Just an update from ad hoc publicity, public relations publicity. We've been working on a radio piece for Pacifica Radio. Katja, Jill, and I, we contacted a number of folks. The deadline was tonight. We contacted them because we were a little backed up, but they said that we have another week. Both Katja and Jill are a little under the weather, so just want to let you know. Right now, some of our technical sound bites on some of the folks we've interviewed may need to be redone. We'll find out more towards the end of the week, but we have another week to do that. So if you get a call from Katja, me, or Jill about sound bites, it's Pacifica Radio. If anyone is aware, that's NPR-like radio piece, about 200 different stations throughout the United States. The piece is on what's next for Occupy. So we've got some real good technical on a lot of folks who've talked. So cross your fingers with that.
Yeah, I have one more thing. I need a blogger to blog about today. So if anybody wants to take that fantastic task of blogging, I know I have many bloggers that have signed up to blog. Today would be a really great thing to blog about. So, yeah, and more than one person can do it. So if you want to, just go ahead and start, and then let me know when you're done, and I'll get it up on the website. So please, 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 if you're a writer and good at it.
Hi, I'm Bert, and this is a continuation of the outreach working group report. On Saturday, I had an incidental outreach with the Veterans for Peace group, which meets in Durham. And during that meeting, there were 3 other occupiers who are infrequently here, but they asked that I talk to them about Occupy. And there was a proposal made by an 86-year-old World War II Marine veteran who is going to ride his bicycle from Raleigh to D.C. in May.
Wow.
And would like people to join him. He had sent a letter to President Obama asking him to meet him so we can talk about why we need to end the wars.
Wow.
So I would ask anyone who is a bicyclist, please get in touch with me. We'd love to have a lot of people go along. On another outreach effort on Sunday, Nicole and Heather and I talked to the Society for Ethical Culture at Chapel Hill and had a lot of favorable response, a lot of good questions, and a couple from Henderson came up after the meeting and said, please come to Henderson.
Yes.
So if you want a roaming occupied, we're here.
That's no matter.
It's only an hour north, and we can do it. So that's
Tell me where to put my tent.
You tell us what day that is, or like what dates he's going. Yeah.
It's not till Monday though.
Does he know what date?
He wants to be there on the 26th of May.
Okay.
So it would probably be a week trip, because he does 40 miles a day.
All right, so I'm going to let people get more information on this from Bert afterwards. Sorry, we have a few more things we need to get to. I'm just going to do a quick report back from facilitation. I am here because I am part of the facilitation working group, and there are a number of us on it, but something we've been talking about is whether and how to get more folks involved. So for right now, we're going to stick to, if you want to get involved, please just see one of us, and basically there's like a little bit of training or like optional kind of, but there is a potential, and this could be a discussion we have at GA at some point in the future, if we want to diversify facilitation a little bit more, just so it doesn't become an ad hoc sort of leadership position, that people volunteer at the end of one GA to facilitate the next one. So that's just to put that out there. That's what we've been talking about. And I think we have to change our meeting time to this semester or whatever thing we call the time divisions in our world. All right. Any more report back?
Very tiny one. Night watch is pointless as of today. The mailing list should be shut down. This is a reminder. There's no reason to keep that mailing list around.
The what should be shut down?
The night watch mailing list.
Oh.
Night watch is
I'm not. That's Katya. So.
Just in the minutes to remind her to tell that list.
So you can stay up all night at Pneumatic Occupy anytime you want.
Right.
Yeah.
I would hope direct action would take care of their own night watch needs, hopefully.
Direct action is taking care of
All right.
night watch.
All right. Let's.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Barbara, we have an agenda. So are you reporting back? Or are you announcing? Or
I wanted to know if I could take a few pictures for our website, and that's all.
yeah. Does anyone object?
I've been up in New York one or two times, so I thought it'd be nice to show what's going on.
Thank you. If anyone doesn't want to, just tell Barbara what she can. All right, so I think that we are done with report backs. If any group remembers that they had something to say, we can fit it in a second. So the only two agenda items that we have to discuss, and then we'll do announcements, are the issue of William. William, are you in here now? I saw him come in for a second. I saw him.
He's out on the list.
Okay.
Or maybe not.
I don't. Hold on. It's okay. So basically, we're just trying to figure out what to do with the tent. But maybe we'll wait till William comes and start discussing our ongoing presence in this space. And Bert, do you want to talk to that since you put it on the agenda?
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm very hoarse. Just to let everyone know, before say Thanksgiving, there was a lot of discussion about having a sign-up sheet where people who were occupiers and wanted to support Occupy could come out here during the daytime hours and have a table with a banner and have handouts and talk with the general public. 7 days a week, say 10 to 6 or something like that. There seemed to be a lot of support for that. And I personally see it as a great outreach tool, especially now that we don't have our encampment. And we can have people here who are explaining and asking people to come and join us at GAs or explain about teach-ins. Brian had a suggestion that we have a pamphlet that tells the direct actions that we have participated in and the effects, the positive effects of those direct actions. To me, this is another phase of Occupy where we bring even more people in without necessarily.
Our website. So this is open for discussion now. And Rob is taking stats, so please just.
Point of information, Wild Bird, that's a great idea that we should have a pamphlet outlining the things that we've done and the effects. I had never thought of that. It's a great idea. I was just saying, I suggested that we should have a flyer that lists all the events that we have planned every month.
Yes.
We could have one of each, but it's better yet that I misinterpreted the report.
Thank you for clarifying.
Anyone else want to comment?
I had the same comment, so I second that.
Maria.
Boy, I really do have direct action mindset. Okay, that's a great idea. Who wants to bottom line it?
The bottom line means who wants to be the point person or in charge, but not in charge. Just respond.
How about the outreach group takes that on? Outreach working group. That's what it would be.
Okay.
Outreach.
Who is that now? Are you?
I'm on the outreach group. Harry, Alana.
Someone asked when you guys are meeting next. Is that known?
We have no management.
That is something that I think would help, and we've been trying to do that, is to actually have working groups have. No, don't think of it right now.
William.
Okay, hold on. I don't want to break. This one isn't so controversial, so let's just finish this topic, and then we will move back to that agenda item. So, any more comments?
For outreach, and one complements the other. I think doing it here, the flyers, and getting the word out and being public. I do want to compliment that, how important it is for us to get out into the community and bring our literature, ideas, and our presence. I think that's I think all the groups, the report back, the visioning groups really spoke to it. So I'd like ideas from people as to what communities they're working with, what faith-based they're working with, so that, and transport that to, or let the outreach know so that we can have a wide berth of conversations.
Yeah. I'm curious about how we can think together about how to actually do that, because it was actually pretty easy. A lot of us were coming out here for a couple hours to just sort of like hand out pamphlets, because the banner was here 24 hours a day, because people were here. When we had the food tent, we had all of the stuff was already here, and it was just really easy to slip in and just be here and do it. And so I think that's something we need to think together about, like, where are the banners? Are they all at Becca's house? Is there a way to have that a continuous, able to have those things? Should we all just copy things from the website, the new press release things, and do it ourselves and copy them? But I think we need to figure out exactly how to do that. Maybe as a group, not just outreach.
You should be on the working group.
So I have William and Bert. William, are you speaking to this issue or the other issue?
I was just going to say, if you can bring them flyers that y'all created before, the two-sided flyers, if you want to take out the GA portion and just put in a website, you're going to have a lot of people coming up here inquiring why the presence has, all but disappeared. So I think that in itself would be an opportunity. If you can get them flyers up here ASAP, I'll be more than glad to hand them out and, give a vote of confidence towards engaging in the occupation through cyberspace or whatever you call it.
Sure. So did you have your hand up? Okay. I'll put myself on stack as non-facilitator. Just another idea or question is that I'm wondering whether, I'm not trying to get concession, but I'm wondering if we could keep like a little station here or something where we keep stuff in the post office, and I don't know if we can ask about that, just to keep things so that the minute someone comes and it doesn't always have to be, you don't have to rely on one person to be in charge of it, but it's more decentered. And I could see it just, there's like a little, a little card table, a tent-like picture or tent, and then like a flyer, or maybe even something that's like more permanent than a flyer saying Occupy 2.0, we've gone on to, and then like flyers. So sort of like a little kit that is here,
And then I would also say that I think outreach should totally bottom line it, but definitely bring it to the big meeting like this. Like, I kind of feel like we should get a list going around right now to find out who's interested in staffing. I don't know if anyone wants to directly act on that at this moment, but if someone has a piece of paper, that could be something. So.
One thing we've talked about in our work group, or our group up in, the little display tents, or cat tents. Get one of those, silk screen the Occupy logo on it, put your flyers in there, put it on the shelf over there. You keep the brand, you keep the look of the tent, you bring it into a smaller, this is 2.0, we're doing something else and we're not forgetting where we started. That's an idea.
My idea is that if it's going to be monthly or weekly, we could just bring those informations to the GAs and people could just take those things home with them and have them for when they come already, so we don't have to worry about where to keep the stuff if everyone just has it already. If it's going to be the same flyer every single time, we can just make sure that everybody has those. Just bring them to GA. When they run out, they can get more. And then the monthly, I don't know, maybe we should do weekly because monthly seems a little too far out and things change too much. If we do weekly, we could just bring those Sunday for the rest of the week, and then people take them, and that way they have them already, and we don't have to worry about space.
Any more comments? So, can we get a temperature check? I think there seems to be a consensus that we like this idea. Is there, yes? Temperature check? So can I ask outreach to maybe find a time to talk about it and then tell us when it's going to be put on the agenda to like sort of finalize the way it's going to be, you know? Does that make sense? Diane?
Do you have your hand up here? I thought I saw somebody over there, but yeah, you.
I did, and I was curious if it's possible, perhaps inside here, to have a table that's perhaps unmanned, just as a slight variation.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we can look into that. Dan.
I actually think William has an excellent point that having someone here tomorrow, you know, or if we could have something tomorrow and Thursday, which I can't do, but so that as people see that most of the tents are gone, that there is an explanation and there's some sort of way of jumping over that. If anyone was able.
Is there any way you can add something about 2.0?
Well, don't we have the press release material?
Amanda might have in mind.
If it's on the website, I'll try to print it off of that. I don't know if I'll be able to.
Everything's on the website.
The banner, is there a way to keep a banner there? Is that an option? Are there any banners available? Is there one of the past?
I don't know where that really is beautiful banner.
Which one?
The one that's like this.
That one was stolen.
I would suggest that if we have a banner, it will shortly become a souvenir in a sorority or a fraternity.
Maybe one that would take it down.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that was me. Twinkling wrong.
One thing that could be done to actually have a banner at least on the GAs and group meetings for people to see. So like, you know, we can make one banner, or maybe the best thing would be like one of those things that stand on their own, like commercial, and then like just have one with Occupy Chapel Hill next to the GAs when it's happening, so we know what it is and join.
This is called sandwich board.
I like that idea.
Awesome.
I would double twinkle if I had another hand available.
Well, so am I okay? Oh, someone else?
Sorry. Just there is a list now going around, an interest list for staffing Occupy 2.0 outreach here at the post office, and there is a column that's kind of hard to read, I'm sorry, that says available tomorrow, so that if you are available immediately, you can just check in.
Thank you. A different kind. Okay, great. So is it okay to move on from this topic and just know that we are charging you guys with very important action items? Great. So back to William. So I guess we can start the discussion about, I mean, and this is a really important discussion in terms of a person makes an autonomous decision to leave their tent, and we have promised, I'm actually going to let someone else who knows more about the scenario that was involved in that conversation to maybe give us a brief update. And then
Okay. The reason we took the opportunity to come up to camp now is because we agreed with the NAACP organizers for the Martin Luther King Day celebration here that we would vacate the plaza so that A, it could be clean, and B, that it would be free for all the celebrants on that day, which will be Monday coming. There's many, many people here. It's a very big and important day. And so thus we, as Occupy, did agree to have the whole plaza clear. Again, that led to the decision to collapse the whole encampment. So that's why we are here now, celebrating to a point of. So that looms as an agreement that we made, and there you go.
So I don't know if there were people who wanted to discuss me and Ron, and then we might need one. Yeah.
Although,
well, and the plaza will be cleaned Thursday or Friday.
At which point it's moot.
Say again?
At that point it's moot, correct?
I don't know what they're going to do with the tent. Assuming it's going to be vacated.
Yeah, they're going to pressure wash this plaza Thursday or Friday.
Everything has to be out.
Okay. Well, on one hand, it is disappointing that the wishes of the group were not upheld. However, that said, in a consensus model, a group is not, it is not true consensus when a group can compel the actions of another person. That said, Will stands on his own. It's an autonomous action, and I personally wish him luck. It takes a lot of courage to do that, and we've had similar, just because some of us may not agree with this particular action, we've had similar actions in the past that we did agree with, such as most of our direct actions, for that matter, and and there's, although not unanimous, pretty broad support for what happened at the 8th building, or for what protesters did at the 8th building, not necessarily for what happened, but
All right, so
but it boils down to consensus can't compel action.
all right.
Some of us don't understand the context.
Okay, I'll just really briefly, basically, and I might ask William to speak, even though I just feel like we're kind of talking around something. William, we're discussing what we're going to do, or what you would, like how we're going to get around the fact that we agreed with the town and MLK organizing committee to clear the plaza for the cleaning, the intensive cleaning that's going to happen either Thursday or Friday, and then for the event on Monday, which is in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so we're basically trying to figure out, because you said you're going to not move it. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it may go from position to position, but it ain't leaving the law. I'll handle the hard working people and the Johnny Dangerous. Y'all handle the finger that you walk in. The Barack Obama thing.
Okay, I'm not sure I get that.
I really couldn't hear what you were saying with your scarf over your mouth, so I can't put it in the minutes.
What I heard, do you not want to repeat it? Okay, what I heard William say was that he is going to take care of the working people and the folks, he'll let them pick it up and clean around it. And the part I didn't quite understand is that we should take care of...
Barack Obama.
Oh, the twinkle.
Oh.
So our process is what you're referring to.
I'm sorry, my computer animation or my computer lingo representation is mighty similar to yours.
Our twinkly thing, yeah.
I've been doing this for decades.
Could you explain, what do you mean by the computer thing?
Cyber, linking, cyber world, occupying.
So what he's saying is that he's going to keep on occupying for us, and you're going to take care of that, is what you're saying? Am I understanding you correctly?
Yeah, I'm still going to have signs, and I'm still going to have communication, and I'm still going to put the word out, and I'm still going to have grievances as long as everything isn't equal and up to standard when it comes to respecting each other's beliefs and what have you.
All right, so this is where William stands, and then I understand that we have some comments. So I was still with Ron, and then this gentleman. Thank you, Amanda.
I was part of the working group which met with the NAACP. We later brought it to the General Assembly. It was consent that we would take down the tent in preparation for and in honor of Martin Luther King Day.
Mic check.
It was consent, it was not law. Consequently, any tent that remains here after tonight is not occupied tent.
Okay.
Would you repeat that last sentence you said?
Any tent that remains here after tonight is no longer an occupied tent.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm a little torn about this actually. I'm kind of surprised I'm torn. Occupy is a broad church. It brings together people who care about inequality, political, economic, and social. We by no means all have the same views. I'm pretty sure I have some views that some of you find like completely weird and why. And do not necessarily, thank you. And don't necessarily conform with what the rest of you are doing in direct action and so on. But I'm here because I care. And William, without is one of the people I care about. Because William is the living embodiment of the advocacy that I engage in. I don't know William. I might like him, I might not like him. I don't care. We can sense something, but he can do what he likes. And we cannot stop him doing what he likes. There might be practical difficulties with continuing to have him engage in producing occupied literature because it might confuse people who might want to have their own relationship with William vis-a-vis the cleaning up. That's not a big issue. But he can do what he likes. And I would not like to think that his style or his manner or his presence in any way affects his continued involvement with Occupy and our respect for him.
Wow, that was your first clap.
This is kind of the reverse of the Chrysler Building situation, where with that one, it happened before it came to GA. This one, it's come to GA before it happens. If William just was a private citizen and came up and put a tent out here, he'd get arrested. The other dispossessed people who may remain on the plaza under the portico, if it wasn't for Occupy, they'd probably be getting arrested. That is our choice here. We have to, I think, stand by or stand away from. Does William have our blessing to do this? Because if he's just out here by himself, he probably will get arrested. If he's doing Occupy, he probably won't. That's our choice. And that's right before us right now. I would like us to support him and help with the logistics of hopscotching around and getting out of the way of MLK Day and whatever that may have to be. But as Stephanie said, although there is a difference in an individual working in consensus, there's a difference if someone is doing something privately. So we have a little bit of a conundrum here. Do we umbrella him under Occupy? Do we abandon him to be an individual? That has to be a specific, perhaps, proposal and explanation to the powers that be if they say why you still have a tent, etc., etc. So we can't dance away from this a la the Yates building.
So I'm next on track, then I have Brian, then Miriam, then Maria, and then Barbara. Okay, so this is me, not facilitator, me. And I was actually surprised at this feeling, but one thing and correct me if I'm wrong, but the idea of consensus, that consensus can be changed. And it feels like one has to change with emergent conditions, and I feel like that's one of the things that makes us a different form of democracy than sort of bureaucratic ones that have to go through all of this stuff, and then we come to a decision, and then that's it. And so what I feel like I see before us is sort of oddly, I mean, we might have to make that kind of decision, but we might be able to revisit this and talk to the MLK committee and ask if there isn't a way also in terms of MLK symbolically being united with the Occupy movement, which in a way is sort of sad that we cleared out when there are so many resonances, right? And I sent the email, I sent that list, the link once about the Council of Elders that formed that were like, this is our movement, and it was a whole bunch of civil rights leaders basically saying, these are my people, this is my movement, I've been doing this for 50 years. So I feel like perhaps, and I don't know that I'm ready to make a proposal, but perhaps before we have to do are we putting William up on his own to get arrested versus us disowning whatever is being put before us, whether we might not be able to, given the conditions, come up with a compromise with the MLK committee, because I think that is the only day that this is really a problem. I personally don't see I can't imagine any of us being against having a permanent representation of our occupation continue if someone has audacity to continue, not audacity, whatever the word is.
The gut,
thank you, to continue to be here, and it's sort of, it's pretty awesome in a way. So it's just my thinking out loud. Right.
Let's see my person said.
Good. Barbara, and then Miriam, and then Maria.
Oh, I thought it was.
We switched you around because you had perfect.
Sorry. I should say there's a big casserole of food from our garden over there. My mouth is full.
Oh, yeah.
This has maybe already been talked about or discussed, but is there any openness to, if not coordinating it with MLK to, out of respect, move it so it can be cleaned and the event could happen, and then move it back and have it be an Occupy thing.
All right, Maria.
I really want to respond to that. That is exactly what we asked.
Yeah, MLK didn't ask for
when the committee met. We didn't know the encampment was going to disband altogether. It was to respect an annual event of a major partner in our struggle. This happens every year for the last quarter century. It is a march which Occupy, I want to be really visible, it marches to First Baptist. It was to give the town an opportunity to, what is it called, pressure wash. To pressure wash out of respect for this annual event. And then, after the 16th, it was assumed that there would be some kind of presence. So it is not a problem. I think the issue is to ask William to allow the town to do, and by the way, we also, I think, mentioned that if it were off to the side to accommodate the hundreds of people that will gather, there's no reason not to have a tent off to the side, even with tables and literature, as long as we were respectful of the space for this very important annual Martin Luther King event. So I think it's really talking to William about what we do to allow the town to clean, where the tent can be in a respectful space, which allows everyone to gather on the 16th. And then after that,
Brian did want, he passed and then wanted to be back on, so I'll put you back on.
All right. Just to be really quick, we have consensus meetings to decide what we're going to do together. It makes sense for us to decide together what we're going to do, but William's not in this meeting. Anybody who has an idea about what William can do or should do or what they want to help with, you just go talk to us. And we can come up with a consensus here, and that's totally idle, just like consenting as to what we think the town government should do. Let's use our time wisely. William's approachable. He's already said